Origins. The atmosphere gave birth to a god, hovering in the open field of the cosmos. The child, silent in behavior and bright in appearance, is alone, without mother and father. Around him are 4 females, majestic in appearance, their wings encircling him as their voices unite in a hymn. The child, watching and listening to the goddesses, glows brighter with every chord that is struck. Soon enough, the warmth from their voices stirs the child, causing him to cry. One of the goddesses reaches for him and holds him in her arms. After kissing his forehead and having their eyes meet, a tear falls from her face, falling onto her chin and landing on his forehead. Her fallen teardrop, like as a ripple made by a little pebble in a pond, creates a similar effect throughout his entire body. This effect brings the child back to his silence and then to sleep. But this peaceful scene doesn't last forever. A guard of the cosmos soon interrupts. He tells the goddesses that this child has violated the laws of the cosmos by it being there and must be taken to the council for judgment. He tries to pry the child from the arms of the goddess, but the other 3 goddesses rise and form a wall with their wings to protect them both. The guard, understanding the power and status of the goddesses, tells the goddess holding the child that if she will not let him take the child, that she can present the child to the council herself. She agrees, and, standing before the council, makes her case for the child's innocence against the law. Looking down at the goddess from her high seat of judgment, and with a look as if she felt what the woman was feeling, after a long period of deliberation, she says to the woman, "It is a violation for anyone to be in that part of the cosmos without warrant. The violator, no matter who or what that violator is, must have a sentence of judgment given to them. Just because this is a child, the law still stands. So you must punish an innocent baby, an infant not in control of his own life, mind, and body," says the woman. "How, then," says another member of the council, "can you justify his innocence? We have no information regarding this child's appearance in the cosmos other than the word of the guard, who was told that he received word of it suspended and lingering in the open atmosphere. From the time that it was there and not claimed or observed, its violation was pending." "So then why not blame the guard?" says the goddess. "Since when is incompetence overlooked, and especially by you?" "The child was not present when I last surveyed the area," interrupted the guard. "How then," says that same member of the council to the woman, "do you explain this phenomenon of a child mysteriously appearing out of nothing?" "The error is my own," says the woman, looking down. "I brought my son into the open radiance of the cosmos to liquefy certain elements of the air for his bath. Upon being called by my sisters, knowing that my son would be safe right where I left him, I tended to the affair." "So you left him there?" questioned another member of the council. "Yes," she responded. "And for what reason?" they again asked. "For matters of heaven, from which I come. My sisters needed the power of 4 and not of 3. "Are you sure about all of this?" questioned another member of the council. "Why would I lie?" she replied. "I love my son, despite how this may look. I have done this before. He is newly born. I have taken and washed him in the elements of the cosmos on many occasions since his birth, even leaving him there to become one with the intelligence within the air. And you understand that by doing so, even all of those other pastimes, that you stood in violation of the law," continues this same member of the council. "Of course I understand," she says. "I want what is best for my child. I will only care for him according to the practices of my father's royal throne. There is a certain way to care for sons of the class of the creators, and I will not suffer my son to know anything less. But you understand that a sentence of judgment must come to the child because of your negligence?" says the same questioning member of the council. I believe you should consider me as the sufferer of the sentence of judgment and not my son, she reasoned. Whatever the consequences may be, I pray and even beg of you to let me suffer them and not my son. I have committed these acts understanding the potential consequences of them and have been prepared for me and not for my son to suffer the sentence of judgment if ever found contrary to the law. This woman is not the child's mother, blurted the guard. How do you know this? Asks one of the council's members to him. Her story doesn't make sense. I saw the child, and upon looking at him I found no resemblance to this woman. The council then asks for the child to be given to the mother that she may hold him, and that a decision about the child's appearance may be made. Upon receiving him, the child possesses a similar appearance to the woman, silencing the claim that he is not the woman's child. The child is mine, says the woman, looking down at him and then looking up. Let me suffer his sentence of judgment. My son should not have to suffer for my negligence. Very well, said another member of the council. As a goddess of creation, your ability to create and to mediate creation in all aspects, both conscious and unconscious, will be removed. A small bottle was then presented to her. She was to exhale into the bottle, casting the spirit and intellect of her ability to create into the bottle. After doing so with the bottle filled with the spirit of her ability to create, it was given to the council member asking for it. The essence of your being is creation. You are hereafter no longer able to create, said the council member, holding the bottle of her essence. Take your son back to heaven and amend your negligence with better habits. Satisfied with the judgment, thank you, she says. Holding the child and looking down at him with a smile, she takes one more look at the members of the council on their seats of judgment and then walks out their court. Waiting for her outside of the council's court are her 3 sisters. She joins them, and with her son in her arms, they all immediately vanish and reappear at their section of heaven, the only section committed to the society of these goddesses and the families they have chosen to have. What do we do now? She says to her sisters, her son in her arms, who is playing with her locks. I don't know, says one. We have a son now, says another, wearing a look of dismay. Do you think our father would know what to do? Asks the goddess holding the child. We can't tell him, says the other sister. Who knows what his reaction will be? He will take him and keep him as his own, says one. This little boy is so handsome and so strong, and his brightness is greater than any other newborn child I have ever seen. Our father Anu will take him from you, and who knows if you will ever see him again. Never mind the fact that he will scold you for having a child and being ignorant of who the father is, says another. We don't know what will happen, she says, looking down at her son. I don't know what to do. Why can't we just raise him, says another sister. If we are born to create and to protect what is created, should we not be able to care for this child? We only care for our creation from a distance, says the newly crowned mother. We are never involved with our work to actually guide it. So then let us remain indifferent with him, says one. Let us raise him as our own, but you as his mother. He must only know one of us as his mother. And you are his mother, adds the other. You have sacrificed your life for him. To you belongs this child, but we too, as also his mothers next to you, belong to him. The sisters then agreed to raise him collectively, with him knowing only one of them as his mother. It is this woman who named him Azazel, saying, Because I was your scapegoat, so too alleviation for the realms will rest on your shoulders. But without her sisters knowing, she brought him to their father Anu. He took the child in his arms and inspected him, his omniscience causing him to embrace the child as his own. With his daughter telling him everything that happened, and with him already knowing what happened, he took Azazel and put his hand on his forehead, making his appearance, and also the powers shared with him by his mother, permanent. The power to create dwelt within this woman's affectionate embrace. Whatever she touched, or whatever she thought about, when moved by very deep thoughts and feelings, would be created. When she found Azazel, he looked like a very different child, but when her tears landed on him, the power and character of her essence was shared with him, not only changing his appearance to resemble hers, but also adding to him the ability to create. With her father, therefore being a supreme creating mind, within Azazel's veins now flowed the substance of supreme minds. When Anu touched Azazel's forehead, he sealed his mind with the powers that his mother shared with him through her tears, and also made his new appearance permanent. Anu transferred the spirit of the creating class into Azazel's thoughts and feelings, with him now possessing the beauty of his unknown father and the strength of his unknown mother, having the force of Anu's daughter within him, and also the intelligence of Anu's throne flowing through his veins. Azazel is crowned as one of the most powerful gods to ever exist, a status given only to the supreme creating minds. "You did well to rescue this child," says Anu to his daughter, his wife looking on. "He will overthrow the realms, strengthening our throne and its reign without realization. Take him and raise him with your sisters. You are his mother." The goddess then left her father's kingdom with the child in her arms. Back home, she sits in an open field beside her house, the sound of an active body of water behind her. In her arms rests her son, Azazel.